Do you ever find yourself struggling to find time to write? Wondering why so many other people seem to be able to pound out book after book after book while you struggle just to get a blog post written? I'm going to tell you my best tips to finding time to write. Hi, I'm Naomi. I've been a freelance writer for 17 years and I run the blog over at helpmenaomi.com. I offer down-to-earth advice for writers who want to get paid. And before I forget, please hit the subscribe button and the little bell so you'll get notified whenever I post up a new video. Whenever I tell someone I'm a ghostwriter, that I write books, one of the first things to come out of their mouth is, I've been thinking about writing a book, and it takes everything I have not to scoff at them. I mean, they make it just sound so easy to get on a computer and just start banging out words, right? Just start writing, like the words are just gonna flow and the ideas are just gonna appear as if carried in by fairies living in your keyboard, as if there's no real work involved to writing at all. Little do they know that sometimes just finding the time to write can be a struggle. Never mind the actual writing itself. I'm pretty sure Styx got it wrong. Sorry guys. I still love you, but there is no such thing as a writer with too much time on their hands. And there is little in this world that is more frustrating than trying to pound out new words when you don't have time to write. Getting paid to write from home is the dream for many of us, but have you thought about what that entails or how writers make money if they're not able to write? Freelance writing and freelance ghostwriting may be a dream, but it's a hard dream and it is going to take hard work. And seriously, sometimes there isn't enough time. Before anyone yells at me and starts saying, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. No, we don't. Okay? If you have chronic pain, your 24 hours do not look like my 24 hours. If you don't have small children at your home while you're working during the day, your 24 hours do not look like my 24 hours. No one has the same 24 hours in a day. So we can just quash that right now. And yes, I know, sometimes you just have to make the time to write. But guess what? These crafty little hands are not good at fabricating hours. Try as I might, I am still stuck with just 24 hours in a day and growing more and more frustrated when I don't have time to write. Then they say you have to take the time, as if you could just run up to someone who doesn't look busy and ask them, could you apply your wasted hours onto the tail end of my day? I have discovered that my responsibilities and my sleep do not generally like being pushed aside so that I can take time to do other things, even writing. And the holidays just make it all more difficult because now there's cookies I want to bake and families I need to visit, things I want to make, activities for the kids. I'm already going nonstop. How am I supposed to find time to write my work, much less my own stuff? I mean, seriously, there have been countless mornings when I was sitting in front of my computer before the sun came up trying to pound out just one short blog post as quickly as I could before the rest of the house woke up and my day would have to officially begin. Because somewhere out there, someone suggested that if you don't have time to write, just wake up before the rest of the family. I'm sure you've heard that piece of advice before too, right? Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button if you've heard that before. Let me tell you something. When your family consists of babies, waking up before them is almost impossible. Not to mention self-harming, because babies also mean almost no sleep. And any sleep you do get is just a series of power naps throughout the night. So robbing yourself of even more sleep, that's just gonna make you irritable and send you over to burnout even faster. Meanwhile, my works in progress are screaming at me. You may actually be planning to hold a revolt. But I swear at night, I can hear them all talking about rebelling against me. So obviously I have to do something, right? Just to shut them up, to log at least some progress on my own stuff and keep me from feeling like a complete failure. Here's the thing. If you want to get paid to work from home and write, then you do have to find the time to write. It's not going to happen by starting your day earlier or magically making or taking time from the void, but it will happen by using these small tips that'll help you set aside time in which you can prioritize the writing. You see, we tend to think of all our responsibilities as being equal or pretty close to equal when it comes to deciding on what to do when. Family is a priority because we love and care for them. Housework is a priority because we're not slobs and we want to live in a safe and clean household. Work is a priority because it pays for the bills, it pays for the family, it pays for the house, it supports the family. It's all interconnected. But what we should be doing is picking out certain points in time throughout the day in which we can say, right now, family is the most important thing. For this hour, family is my priority. And then following that hour, work is my priority. Here's how this works. First, sleep in if you can. I know this sounds ridiculous. This took me the longest to implement, which is why I'm saying it first. But it works. Not only is self-care important, but being well rested helps your creativity flow and it helps your productivity. You'll find that your mind wanders less and it makes it easier to focus. If you aren't able to sleep in because you have kids or stress or glaring sun shining in on your face, then try to take advantage of naps during the day. Or if you're really stuck, try just laying down on the sofa and meditating. Don't think about work or all the things you should be doing. Think about resting. Sit in the moment and relax. Concentrate on your breathing. Whatever you are able to do, just try to make sure you are getting enough rest. You can't work if you're burnt out or sick. You can't take care of your family if you're sick. So at some point in time during the day, make self-care your priority and get some rest and find a spot to think. I don't know about you, but sometimes I get my best thinking done when I am just about anywhere except in front of my computer. Going for a walk outside, washing the dishes, folding the laundry, even lathering up in the shower, they all seem to charge up my thinking cap. In just a few minutes, I can go back and sit down at the computer with a clearer direction of where I want to go and what I want to write. So, every once in a while, get away from the computer. Go do something that's repetitive or easy so you can take a few minutes to prioritize thinking. Then, once you've thought of something, head back to the computer and go. Second, take advantage of short writing sprints. I live by writing sprints. I take my phone and stick it in another room. Then I take my timer. This timer, I got my handy dandy R2D2 timer from ThinkGeek a few years ago when they were still around. Although now you can find them on Amazon. As a matter of fact, I will even leave the link for you down in the description. Best timer ever. So I set R2D2 to go off in 20 minutes, put it down, and I write as many words as I can. Now, I do 20-minute sprints now, but when I first started my writing sprints, I could barely last 5 minutes before I had to stop because I couldn't think of the next word that I wanted. And when my son was younger, he's 2 now, but when he was younger, I couldn't do more than 5 minutes because I was taking care of him. So if all you can do is a 5-minute sprint, then do a 5-minute sprint. You might be thinking, how much can you possibly get written in just 5 minutes? A lot. On average, I can pump out anywhere from 350 to 400 words in 5 minutes. That's the equivalent of 4,200 to almost 5,000 words per hour. Of course, when I first started with these short sprints, I averaged much closer to 150 to 200 words. The key is to do them regularly and know what you're going to write when you sit down to write. 6 or 7 well-timed 5-minute sprints will still net you anywhere from 1,200 to 2,500 words by the end of the day. And this works with other things too. Set the timer for 20 minutes and make a run through your emails or bang out some research, outline your book, create some graphics for your social media channels. I mean, really, just about every task that you do several times a week could be condensed down into 1 or 2 timed sprints. Finally, don't miss family time. Without a doubt, one of the biggest hurdles to my writing time is interruptions. 5-year-old needs something, husband needs something, 2-year-old needs something, 5-year-old needs something else. No matter how much I cry, joke, scream, yell, or beg, the interruptions just wouldn't stop. For a long time, I assumed this was some kind of mental block on their end. Like, because they see me working from home, they just figure that meant I was available to talk to and get them things. That might be part of it, but there's another part of it too. I wasn't making myself available to them. I would wake up thinking, get some writing done, and then take the rest of the day off. And yet somehow, by the time I went to bed at night, I had spent the entire day begging and fighting through interruptions to even get the smallest amount of work done. I was waking up before them and going to bed after them, and yet my entire day was write a paragraph, get him some juice, find my husband's key, write another paragraph, change a diaper, stop the kids from fighting, check my email, write another paragraph, change the channel on the television, vacuum up some cereal. even thought if I could just carry my phone with me and take notes even while they were interrupting me, that would work, right? Make the best of the time and all that. Nope. Household chores suffered, the house was a mess, laundry was piled up, I was stressed out and crying by the end of the day because of all the interruptions. That all changed once I started making sure that I was available between writing sprints, once I made them the priority. Who knew? Put the phone away and make sure that the time you are spending with your family, you are spending with your family. They will interrupt you less and less. So, prioritize your sleep and self-care when you can sleep in or take a nap and meditate. Then prioritize your writing during writing sprints. Then prioritize your family between the sprints. Instead of fighting and struggling to try to balance all three priorities, give them each their time to shine during the day, and you'll find it much easier to get your writing done. How about you? Do you have any tips or tricks when it comes to finding time to write? Go ahead and leave your comments for me below, and I will talk to you soon. Lifesaver! Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Bye!